more. Of course, as you can see, the Liberation Flame. This is, of course, a long time coming. This Liberation Flame was supposed to come to us 5 years ago, but it was shut down by COVID. And it's because of the wonderful people like Pinto, who I'm going to introduce, that made this happen, and this wonderful crew who brought this flame over. It's been everywhere, and it's been to Ottawa, it's been to Hamilton, and it was there today, and it's made it stop. It's on to Manitoba tomorrow, but it's stopping here at the Waterdown Museum of History. So I'd like to introduce the man behind this, the passion, Pinto. Please put your hands together.
Yeah, just, if you want to keep it, yeah,
I'm going to take a video of you.
Oh dear, oh no. Hello?
Yep.
Thank you for having me here. It's a huge privilege for me. Excuse my English, I'm from Holland and I've got a strong accent. I'm living in England for the past 25 years. Which is a place that is also important between Canada and the Netherlands, because in England, or the UK, is the place where a lot of Canadians were based and never returned. So that is an important part as well. And so I can see it from a neutral place rather than, and so I thought that the flame that is being used in Holland to celebrate liberation should come to Canada, because it gives so much joy. It gives people a tool for reflection and for thinking, what are we doing, what is freedom, what is liberty. Don't take it for granted. You can lose your freedom, you know, and some people have, even nowadays. It's not taken for granted, and you have to do a daily effort to keep the peace and the freedom. And what the Dutch do is make a physical effort as well, because they're running with the flame between the night of the 4th and 5th of May each year. This flame is a French flame, Normandy. It's more than 80 years old. It was lit in Bayeux, the first French town to be liberated, one day after D-Day, so the 7th of June 1944. People of Bayeux were very happy and they lit the flame, and that's it. But the Dutch were a bit more crazy about it, and they didn't want to just leave it with that. They were liberated with their first town, or city really, Eindhoven, Philips town, City of Lights, on the 18th of September. So a few months later after Bayeux, Montgomery did France, and then he liberated Brussels in Belgium, and then Holland. He left the rest of Holland for the Canadians to liberate for 9 more months after September, if I'm counting right. The Canadians only had to liberate the Dutch. That's why the Dutch really love you. They like the Brits. I don't know how they feel about other people, but the flame is American, Brits, Canadians, Poles, Czechs, Australians, you name it, you know, but mainly Canadian for the Dutch. And what happens at Eindhoven got their liberation day, and they felt this strong urge to link with Bayeux. They had something in common. First place to be liberated is an important thing. And so since 1946, Dutch people from Eindhoven cycle. They always love the bicycle. They cycle for 2 days to Bayeux, have a ceremony, and then they cycle back to Eindhoven. And then on the 18th, when they arrive, that's where the party starts. Really, it's huge. If you be there in Eindhoven, be there on the 18th. you know, you're gonna have fun. But the rest of the Netherlands wanted some fun too. So then you got the place where the peace treaty was imposed upon the Germans. They didn't ask for peace. They said, you know, you're gonna stop this war. And it was in Wageningen, in Gelderland, and the peace treaty was done on the 5th of May. So in Holland, we've got the 4th of May, is not Star Wars, may the force be with you. No, in fact, in Holland, don't wear any Star Wars clothing because it's a very solemn day, it's very quiet. You've got 2 minutes silence, 8 o'clock in the evening. It's commemoration day, like the 11th of the 11th here. That's May the 4th. May the 5th is huge. From midnight people party. It's crazy. You have to be in Wageningen because this time we've got 5,000 athletes with a copy of the flame that's in Wageningen. That comes from Eindhoven, by the way. That arrives, I think, one day after the Eindhoven people get it. And it lives for 9 months in as a little pilot light and a gas factory or something, as a furnace, like a pilot flame. You know, so the flame is kept alive as a tiny little flame, and nothing happens until the 4th and 5th of May. Then it will be lit on a huge, a kind of memorial thingy. I don't know how you call it. There's a picture there. And all these people run from midnight with a copy of it, and we've got one for wellness. They run all night long to their place where they come from. So I'm glad Holland is small, because even to wellness near Amsterdam, it took us 10 hours to get there. And you got your colleagues, two of the pilots from Canada went running 36 kilometers, I think, during that night. And they were resting for half an hour, running for a few miles, resting for an hour, running for 6 miles. And the Dutch told them, please stop, calm down, we can't keep up. The Canadians were stealing the show, and they were earning the flame. The Dutch like it when you run for the flame. You know, you could have come with a nice jet, really nice jet, Challenger, you know, Bombardier Challenger. They came from Canada, have a nice hotel, pick up the flame, come back to Canada with a nice jet, and that's it. But the Dutch would have thought, okay, but no, they deserved the flame by being one of the Dutch, running for it, sweating, having muscle aches, having no sleep, but they recuperated, don't worry. And they deserve the flame. And that's the importance of it, that you don't take it for granted. You have to work for it. And I think now the flame is in Canada. I'm sorry, but if you are below the age of 70, you may have to run too a few miles to bring the flame to the veterans in all parts of Canada. So the flame is going to a central place. We love it to be in Ottawa, we love it to be here, but we decided maybe a central place, and then you can still have the flame too. You can have several flames at the same time, and people can borrow the flame, can get a copy of it, and do something nice with it. Bring it to veterans, having commemorations for certain people. It is your flame, and you are allowed to do something that is appropriate. So keep the flame burning, and you can use a tiny little gas light. That's absolutely fine. These lanterns are there for, they are quite rare. They're airworthy. They can be put on an aircraft, which has been done. But you can just use maybe storm lamps or whatever, that's fine. So in Holland, it's a big thing. We had 200 places that got a flame. Each group consisted of 30 people who ran with the flame in a little bus, seven buses maybe, per city or per village, you know. So that's a big thing. That happens from midnight all night long. And then, of course, the flame is brought to the cities and towns the day after, and then come the veterans and come people from Canada. But they have missed out on that night, and now this is the first time that you have been participating during the night, and that is special, because then you are one of us. And I think that's the biggest gift you can give to the Dutch people, to run, to give it, and they have given it. So much. I can show you my phone. Wow, it's just amazing. So thank you very much.
We didn't run, it wasn't us, it was our colleagues, so I wish I could run 36 kilometers. No, it's just a privilege for us to be part of this, and to be able to really just be a part of this. How Jay organized it all, contacts us, and you know, through levels of government, we're able to make this happen. It's not the easiest thing to get a flame on an airplane. Get the approvals. Yeah. It's easy to walk on with it, right? No, but it's just a privilege for us to be here and be part of this, and hearing the stories and meeting the people that Jay's been working with to keep this alive. You know, there's a lot of people here at home who do it. I've participated in a few events like this, and what's really touching to me is there are so many people like Jay in Europe who dedicate a lot of their time to remembering Canadians over in Europe. And it's actually quite incredible to see. So thank you to Jay, and to Eddie as well, who's here.
So yeah, I just want to finish this with thanking the youth as well. Well, I have to thank Sheila and the Legion for hosting this. And Sheila has been, and Bob can't be with us tonight. Sheila's been just amazing. She's opened her doors. I mean, she's not charged us anything. She's allowed the students of Waterdown to have this museum every semester. She's done it selflessly. She's so much behind us, and I'd just like to give a round of applause to Sheila. But finally, I have to brag, because the one thing in this museum that happened all week was at the end, when people came, they said, your students are incredible. Your young people are absolutely incredible. And Bob Thomas always says it every time people say, young people today, they don't know anything. Bob Thomas, and I hope you do as well, say, no, come down to the Waterdown Museum of Hope, because these kids have worked so hard to put this together. They have brought their families' histories, and they have impressed this community. And they will continue, like that flame, to be the keepers of their family history and the community history. So let's give it up for the students.